Give me a minute. Today is February the 28th. It's a leap year, so we got a 29th tomorrow of 2024. And it is the 734th day of Vladimir Putin's war of aggression against the people of Ukraine. And the big news today is that the Russians, starting on Friday, are banning the export of all refined oil products. Now, what? Because as we know, that's Russia's main source of revenue. And if we look at this chart right here, we can see maybe one of the reasons why. Look back here at the start of the war, and now look at where that number is. It's a 34% decline. So everybody who thinks Russia's pockets are endless, you're wrong. Now, why are they doing this? What are they saying? Well, they are saying that they need to close some refineries for regularly scheduled maintenance. Interesting. Because you just did that last September for nearly 3 months. And it cost you somewhere in the neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken, around $30 billion in revenue. And so if you got to close those refineries again for regularly scheduled maintenance, you are either not very good at maintenance or you are a fucking liar. What other reasons are they giving? They're saying that they need the products internally for agricultural purposes. Well, that's a load of horse shit too. Because the main agricultural season where you bring the harvest in most of Russia is July, August, and September. Corn extends into October a little bit, but that's marginal. Now, what's really going on then? If the reasons that they're given are bullshit, which they are, then what's really going on? Well, look at these numbers. Sales are off by 34%. 34%. They got 22 mega refineries that are currently operational. They have others that have been permanently closed and are likely unrecoverable at this stage. Now, here's the thing about these refineries. The only way that they're economical is if they're processing massive amounts, volume. Oil is a volume business. You gotta have volume. And if the export sales of refined oil products are off by a third, then the reasonable thing to do would be to close a third of your refineries to keep it economical. Well, you can't do that, can you? Because if you close a third of the refineries and lay off all those people, the world is going to know that you're having real trouble. Not to mention the economic impacts on those regions. Now, in some ways, the Ukrainians are actually helping them out with this by taking 4 of the refineries offline. So the 4 refineries that the Ukrainians have hit actually alleviate some of that pressure, that social pressure, because they don't have to close them and incur the bad PR that results from that. They can blame the Ukrainians. But they have to know that the other oil refineries are in the Ukrainians' targets. They're in their targets. So what are they likely doing? Well, they're cutting back production at the remaining refineries to about 2/3 of normal. Okay, so if you're cutting back production to 2/3 of normal, you're not economical. Your cost per product goes up. You're not getting that flow. That's a double whammy. Not only are they selling less on the open market and having a hard time finding the customers for it as secondary sanctions increasingly become a real thing in the world, but it's costing them more per unit to produce the shit. This double whammy is a dilemma that the Ukrainians are helping to create. There's no doubt about it. Now, The Ukrainians are also going to continue to target oil refineries. Clearly, that's a winning strategy. It appears that they can take out another 3 refineries without hurting Russia too much, and in fact alleviating some of that social pressure of having to close refineries. If the Ukrainians take out 3 more refineries, then the remaining refineries can go back up to full production, and things will be looking better, costs will drop. However, you're down 7 refineries, and the Ukrainians are going to come for more. Are you going to be able to produce enough refined oil products to take in your harvest in July, August, and September? And I think that's part of the calculus here, that the Russians want to know that they're going to be able to meet their internal demands, both for agricultural use, consumer use, and the military use, which is exorbitant these days. So this is nothing but good news for the world and for Ukraine. Make no mistake. And real bad news for the Russians. Oh, I almost forgot. That equation up there? Right now, the Russians are making $190 million a day, even exporting, a third less of their refined oil products, $190 million a day. That, over 180 days, the projected shutdown or export ban totals $34.2 billion in lost revenue for the Russians. Fuck around and find out, boys. Fuck around and find out.